Hi, I'm Angie O'Brien from East Haldeman Hospice. Welcome to East Haldeman Hospice series of educational videos for caregivers, walking in my shoes. Topic number 4 is, what do people with life-limiting illness want? What you need to know is that people who are sick and weak and who are struggling to help themselves have the same priorities as you do. They want for themselves what you want for yourself: to maintain a sense of dignity and privacy as much as possible, to maintain a sense of control as much as possible, to be treated with respect, sensitivity, and awareness of their feelings, and to avoid being a burden to their family and friends as much as possible. The essence of your role as a caregiver is to do the very best that you can to honor these priorities. There is no magic formula for caregiving. Each caregiver will do the best that they can. But by giving attention to these 4 priorities and by adopting a problem-solving approach, you too can be an effective caregiver. So how do you use a problem-solving approach? Adopting a problem-solving mindset and approach will help to decrease the feelings that you may have of being overwhelmed. It can feel like putting the pieces of a puzzle together, but if you follow these key steps, you can work out most problems that you are faced with as a caregiver. Number 1. Gather information by observing any changes in the person's needs or abilities and any reasons that you can think of for these changes. Number 2, gather resources, if possible, that address the issue that you are facing. Number 3, make a plan of action based on what is realistic and what is manageable. Number 4, choose what action you will take then. Share them with the person and then act on it. Number 5, evaluate the changes, results, and outcomes with the person that you are caring for. Create a plan to live well now. You could suggest to the person that you are caring for that you work together on a legacy gift for friends and families. A legacy gift can take many forms. It can be a final trip you all take together, a handwritten letter, some handwritten notes, a journal, a narrative or caption photo album, a video and audio recording. Take some time and help the person that you are caring for to create a legacy gift for their loved ones. It can be satisfying to make and wonderful to share. Shannon I. Alder said, "Carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. A legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you." What to write or talk about? Well, relationships, family history, highlights of your life, trips you took, favorite music, sports, teams and heroes, your favorite song, hopes and dreams for your family and friends, favorite books, poems and songs, favorite places in the world. Steve Saint said, "Your story is the greatest legacy that you will leave your friends. It's the longest lasting legacy you will leave to your heirs." First and foremost, be a friend. A young woman named Courtney Strain died of brain cancer in June 2010 at the age of 25. In the months before she died, she said that when she was diagnosed with brain cancer, she sometimes felt like an outcast. People didn't know what to say to her, so they said nothing at all. So, with a friend's help, she wrote a simple guide called "What You Can Do When a Friend Like Me Faces the End of Life." Here are some of the things she wanted people to know. Hallmark doesn't fit at all. Write a letter or send an email. I'm strong enough to sit and laugh or cry with you. for example. Don't pretend that everything's going to be okay. Don't abandon me at my most vulnerable time. Sit and pray with me. Don't pray for me. Don't treat me like a child, even a well-loved child. Include me in decisions that affect our family or social group. Instead of asking, what can I do for you? Offer some concrete suggestions, like bringing a meal or a treat or running errands. Respect my decisions about my health care, my doctors, my medications, and my treatment, and about my end-of-life plans. Respect my decisions. Sorry, I was going to say that point again. Respect my decisions about health care. Now also, just because I'm dying doesn't mean that I'm any less capable of being your friend. Dying isn't my whole identity. Let's walk in these shoes. Think again about the 4 priorities of people who are ill. People who are sick and weak and who are struggling to help themselves. Want what you want. 1, to maintain a sense of dignity and privacy as much as possible. 2, to maintain a sense of control as much as possible. 3, to be treated with respect, sensitivity, and awareness of their feelings. And 4, to avoid being a burden to their family and friends as much as possible. Here are some tips for caregivers. Make time to care for yourself. You will be of no use to the person you're caring for if you don't take the time to care for yourself. Listen to the person and empathize with their concerns. Avoid saying, I know how you feel, or try to cheer up, or pull yourself together. Rather, use empathetic statements such as, this is obviously a horrible time for you. Take your cues from your loved one, but acknowledge how you are feeling too. Keeping a daily journal might be helpful. Answer the person's questions as best you can. If you don't know, say so. Try to find out what you don't know. Always be truthful with everyone, whether sick or well. They should be treated with honesty. Reinforce the person's dignity at all times. Respect the person's privacy and allow as much control as you can about the decisions over care and activities. Support the person's sense of independence and control. Help the person do what they can for themselves and give them choices whenever possible. Help maintain their normal routines and rituals. Respect the person's right to choose. Go easy on giving advice and be open to it being ignored. Support the person's sense of hope. Hope can change over time. If a person is diagnosed with a life-limiting illness, what they hoped for when first diagnosed may change over time. That is okay. Be the person that supports a person's sense of hope at whatever stage. Ask the person, what are you hoping for today? It could be as simple as having no pain or sitting outside, seeing a friend. Once you know what they hope for, you can perhaps help make it happen. Maintain family relationships. Create a place where family members feel welcome. Encourage people to visit and to share some of their time. Include your loved one in family activities whenever possible. Reminisce about your life together, the good and the not so good. Resolve any unfinished business as best you can, even if this means involving a third person. Spend time together, talking, listening to music, watching television, playing cards or games. Share your laughter and your tears. Work on that legacy gift and that bucket list. Help identify unmet spiritual or psychological needs. If a person you are caring for feels anxious or fear, Ask what they would like, if they'd like to talk to a priest, a clergyman, or a spiritual leader, or a counselor even. Help your loved one put affairs in order. Build in time for the person to rest, and let visitors know when that is. Remember, you are not alone, and don't be afraid to ask for help. This concludes our topic 4 video, What do people with life-limiting illness want? And this video has been made possible through the generous grant provided under the Resilient Communities Fund of the Ontario Trillium Foundation.